Welcome back, everyone. This is Sheepdog Smokey, and this one, honestly, I'm not surprised that I'm surprised it took this long. If you'll remember back in the latter days of 2016, early days of 2017, we had people suing Donald Trump because his real Donald Trump, not his POTUS, but his real Donald Trump account, blocked people. And that was said that he is a public figure and a government official, so he cannot block American citizens. Now we have this story where it appears that Alexandria Ocasio Cortez is breaking federal law by blocking a Twitter user. Now, I honestly do not know of any law stating that anyone cannot block someone on a social media platform, but let's see what happens. Did Alexandria Ocasio Cortez break the law by blocking the Daily Wire's Ryan Saavedra on Twitter? The answer to that is yes, she did. Just ask President Trump. Ms. Ocasio Cortez, you did, in fact, just break the law. A federal judge ruled that President Donald Trump's practice of blocking his critics on Twitter violates the First Amendment. The practice is unconstitutional, Judge Naomi Race Buchwald wrote in her 75-page decision, because the at Real Donald Trump Twitter is a public forum operated by the government, meaning viewpoint discrimination is strictly prohibited. Now, I'm honestly not. I don't believe this. Now, the POTUS account or the Rep AOC account, those are official government accounts. The Real Donald Trump or the AOC, those are accounts that are personal accounts held by American citizens. This decision leads to a situation where you're going to be told, well, since you have so many followers, you are a public person. You're a public profile. You can't block people. I personally don't block too many people because I don't see the need. I mute, and that's fine with me because unlike many on the left, when I mute, I quit thinking about you. I may have every now and then get a private message or something that says, hey, they're still ranting and saying they have a right to an answer, and I just laugh. We're going to continue on. Guess what, Ms. Ocasio Cortez? Your account is also under that very same category as ran by the government. While the case has drawn attention for its ties to Twitter in chief, legal scholars say that it has far-reaching implications, protecting all Americans' right to communicate with elected leaders and government entities online. This is a really important contribution, says Danielle Citron, a law professor at the University of Maryland and author of Hate Crimes in Cyberspace. Congressman Devin Nunes, who is suing Twitter for $250 million for violating the rights of conservatives across America, censorship, chimed in late Friday night. Of course, his chime in was, is this real? Pardon me. Judge Buchwald's decision explains how the case hinges on two crucial questions: whether a public official can block people on Twitter in response to their political views without violating their First Amendment rights, and whether it matters when the person doing the blocking is the president. The answer to both questions is no, Buchwald wrote. No government official, including the president, is above the law, she continued. So let the fun begin. I believe this will only be the beginning of Ms. Ocasio-Cortez's lawsuits. Note, it's also important to point out that just next week, a federal appeals court will be looking to see if President Trump has the right to block people on Twitter. Hang in there, AOC. You might have to, unfortunately, back up the president to get out of this one. Again, I don't like this ruling because it tells you that because you are a government official, you lose certain privileges and rights. Now, the flip side of that coin is, if you look, virtually, well, I'm not going to say that, many federal officials have two Twitter accounts. There is the Rep AOC and there is the AOC. There is Real Donald Trump and there is POTUS. It's very common because, of course, they need to separate their personal life from their professional life. When you look at it in that vein, I personally back up both President Trump and Ms. Ocasio-Cortez, because neither of their official government accounts blocked anyone. Ryan was blocked from her personal account, not her official Rep AOC, her official House of Representatives account. I honestly don't believe many of them use their professional account anyway. If you look at the differences in their Twitter feeds, the official accounts, Rep AOC versus AOC, tends to appear that it's run by a staffer because it is very clipped. It is, here's a bill we're voting on, or please support this person, or things like that. Very much party lines. Whereas their personal accounts, they range on anything and everything. And I like that dichotomy because everyone working in government is still also a private person. And for a judge to rule that just because you managed to become elected to federal office, you lose the ability to use a feature on a non-government run service is to say you lose status in this country when you become a government employee. We're also seeing this now as opposed to several years ago. I know people personally who were blocked by Barack Obama's account. Not his POTUS account, but his personal account. I've talked to other people who have been blocked by so-called public figures. And in my mind, that is something every person, whether a public figure or government official or just private person like myself, has the right to do. Again, I prefer not to block. Unlike the Shannon Watts of the world, who block you and then mock you behind the block so you can't see it. If you watch Shannon's personal account, she has Dana Lash blocked, or does most of the time, but constantly tweets out stories saying this, that, or the other, only for someone to screenshot it to Dana. Dana then responds with virtually the same thing every time, that it's a blatant lie. I don't block unless I have someone I feel is possibly dangerous and that I do not want them having any access to me. I mute. And when I mute, I'm done. You don't get free living space in my head. I'm very close to muting both of AOC's accounts because I feel I'm losing IQ points every time I see one of her tweets. But that is something everyone should be allowed to do because, again, this is not about Rep AOC blocking someone. This is about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the citizen. Just as it was not about the POTUS account, but the real Donald Trump account, which had existed for longer, because it is that of a man, not the president's office. But that's my personal viewpoint. Unfortunately, we have people who they'll conflate the laws and other things in government any way they wish, and that honestly needs to stop. But I've talked long enough on this one. Make sure to let me know what you think. Just keep it classy and keep it civil. We don't learn from arguments, we learn from debate. Also, please hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and like this video. Ringing notifications will, of course, let you know anytime I post new content. Although, while I am on mostly a schedule of the 4s and 10s every day, there may be some that go outside that schedule that you may want to be notified of. Pardon me. Until next time, everyone have a wonderful day.